So the young man, christened Emilio Stanley Mwai Kibaki, opted to instead pursue education at Uganda's Makerere, a constituent of the London University College of East Africa. After graduating with a first-class honours degree in economics, Kibaki initially worked at oil marketing firm Shell Company of East Africa in Kampala. He later got a scholarship to study public finance at the London School of Economics. He had left Kenya to pursue education in 1952. When Kibaki returned from London in 1958, he went back to Makerere, where he taught as an assistant lecturer in the economics department until 1961, when the opportunity to join politics came knocking. When Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who chaired the Committee of African Representatives in Kenya, visited his friend, freedom fighter Milton Obote in Uganda, he got a chance to peruse through a manifesto for Obote's Uganda People's Congress. That document had been prepared by a young Kenyan who worked at Makerere, Mwai Kibaki. Jaramogi was impressed.
Well, we used to sell about 10% of our total manufactured products to Tanzania. As it is now, with the border closed, we are not selling very much. We're still selling some. But we have found other markets. So the adjustment has been a little bit painful, but we've made it.
Is Kenya threatened, its long-term economic performance threatened by the uncertainty of its relationships not only with Tanzania, but with other countries around it, which seem to be taking a different sort of a path with respect to their politics and their economics?
Well, not exactly threatened, but it does affect us in that we shall have to divert a very significant proportion of our resources towards expenditures for defense. And thus this means that we will not be spending as much as we would like to do on other economic services. Now that is a very unfortunate position, but then that is the reality of the world in which we now live in.
1963 elections, Kibaki vied for the Donholm constituency parliamentary seat on a KANU ticket. He became part of the first team of MPs in independent Kenya. Soon after joining parliament, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta appointed Kibaki as Assistant Minister for Finance and Chair of the Economic Planning Committee. Kibaki, together with Tom Mboya and John Mishuki, came up with the famous sessional paper number 10 of 1965. The policy intended to promote the political equity, social justice, human dignity, freedom from want, diseases and exploitation, equal opportunities and growing income per capita, as well as equitable distribution of resources and services.
Kwa niaba ya wote ambao wamehusika kwa kazi hii tangu miaka 5-6 iliyopita, ningetaka kutoa shukrani kwa Baba Taifa kwa kukubali kuja hapa kuweka jiwe la msingi. Sisi ambao tumehusika kwa kazi hii kwa muda huo wote, mwanzo huu wa kujenga hapa katika Webuye ni mpango ambao sisi tunategemea ya kwamba kiwanda hiki ambacho ni kikubwa kabisa kitavuta viwanda vingine hapa Webuye. Yaani tunajua kwamba viwanda ni kama binadamu. Binadamu hendi mahali ambako hakuna binadamu mwenzake. Viwanda vile vile ukiwafuruta katika mahala ambako hakuna viwanda vingine wana sita.
Statements by national leaders can be powerful persuaders. In Kenya, the Minister of Finance and Development offers valuable support.
Mr. Minister, family planning is a relevant issue in matters of planning in relation to Vihiga. What are your views on this?
Well, my views, which really are government views, is that family planning is an integral part of development planning. It is an essential part for the reason that you cannot hope to plan other forms of production if you cannot plan the production of the main resource, the human beings. We view it as an aspect of human freedom, in the same way as we give people education so as to open wider horizons for them in the world, the same way that you provide a farmer with greater knowledge about the seed, about fertility of the soil, about climate, about rotation of crops. It's the same way that you must provide that information, that education to the person so that he is not restricted in his living by ignorance, so that he becomes aware that there is a way, there are methods of regulating his family. There are means of spacing the birth of his children, so that he's not slave to just natural forces. And this is what I said in Swahili to these people, that we view family planning education as an extension of personal liberty. The man, the woman are then able to make personal decision, a family decision, as to when they want their children, how many they want. It is not a program for government to force people to restrict the numbers, or even as to how to space their children. It is a program to give them the knowledge. With the knowledge, and as a free people, we know they will make the right decision, which is that they want healthy children. They will therefore want to space them so that they can feed them better, educate them better, clothe them better, and then we shall have a healthier nation. This is what we want to do.
Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Sio lazima wewe kila siku ya pili ya tatu ati lazima uproduce mtoto. What the hell? Hapana. Hiyo ni kukoza adabu.
Haya, asante sana. Kama mjuavyo, kila mtu ni Mkenya, na huenda ikawa, ingawa mimi kazaliwa Nyeri, huenda ikawa baba akatoka Kibabi. Yaani mtukufu rais, kama vile mtukufu rais ametuambia mara nyingi, hakuna haja ya mtu kujivuniwa mahali alipozaliwa.
Kibaki and Jonjo, who had initially adopted an outlook of progressive young politicians, had taken a stand that many disagreed with. The agitation for change to accommodate divergent political views started almost immediately. Among
being accused of having overstayed there, because personally I know that when No, it is important, ladies and gentlemen, to own up that for a long period, there were those of us who believed that we could have cleansed KANU from inside. And it is true that 1988 was our Rubicon.
Sisi tutajua kama tutashinda. Tufuate umoja, tutafute haki. Kenya mpya imeshajengeka. Imeshajengeka.
The Democratic Party believes that Kenya must regain its lost good name and past glory.
As Democrats, we are committed to Kenya because we are going nowhere. Some people argue that they are transit, that they are going someplace. We are going to be right here. And therefore, finally, we call upon every Kenyan
to be tolerant. Democracy cannot operate unless we are tolerant. You tolerate your friend, your neighbor, to have an opinion different from yours. You don't have to call him names. He has a right to differ from you. That is his fundamental right. And he was not made so as to be managed by you or guided by you.
If a party is to be called a tribal because its leader comes from a particular tribe, then all parties would be declared tribal and KANU would be declared Tugen. So, KANU party is Tugen. It's a Tugen party. It's a fact. Yes. Where has it got anybody in Central Province other than Kamodho?
Most important thing is not that you hit the other fellow and knock him down. It is rather that you come to understand each other, that you speak to him, you try and persuade him, because then he'll become your friend and you cooperate. So in my approach to any problem, I'm seeking always to a way that we can do it together, rather than some friends of mine who think that if you have a contrary opinion, their mission is to make sure they knock you down and you're out of their way. They think you're blocking. But I have always believed that we must seek reconciliation between human beings. That is a more lasting solution.
KANU inapanga jama za rigging kila siku, hata walifanya rigging during nomination. Hiyo unajua, na kila mtu anajua katika Kenya, pengine wewe mgeni.
He will still be a fraudulent president. He will not be genuine because he has rigged his way to that position. And they will have no moral authority whatsoever. Because if you are not accepted by citizens whom you are going to rule, then you're going to rule them by force.
Asanteni. Tutamwambia hata ukifunga buku kule kwako, unajua yeye anajenga ukuta kuzunguka State House yake, na yeye si yake, ni ya wananchi wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo ikifika wakati wowote tunaweza kumarch to State House na kumwambia kwenda nyumbani sasa. Ondoka, kwenda nyumbani.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote.
Now, all of us, both young and old, men and women, Kenyans of every group, every race, every creed, have embarked on a journey to a promising future with unshakable determination and faith.
During our campaign, we are truly unbogable, and we are bound to succeed. Nothing can defeat us.
I want to repeat what I did say at Uhuru Park, namely, our first target is to fight the main thing which has set Kenya back, and it has no other names. It is called corruption, sometimes called ufisadi, sometimes called wizi, which is a more suitable word. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite every one of you, particularly those of you that have now been elected to Parliament. Let us make up our mind from the very beginning. We shall fight corruption. That's the only way we are going to have a new nation. Without fighting it, we are wasting our time. And fighting it, Kenyans will be on our side. So please, let me plead with every one of you. As you go home, think of Kenya, think of what gift you can give them in the new year, and please come to the same conclusion I have. That is to eradicate corruption, and we can have a new Kenya. This is the best gift. The second best gift we can give Kenyans is to set the economy once more moving, so that a Kenyan will work with hope that what he earns, he will enjoy. And you know Kenyans are very hardworking. You don't know, I challenge you, of any other people more hardworking than Kenyans. You don't. They are the hardest working people. But we don't want them to work in vain. We want them to enjoy what they achieve, what they work for. And I know we shall do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wish you a happy and a prosperous new year. And above all, let me wish you a time when you will have a government, which you are going to have. You shall be guided only by the rule of law.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Pumbafu, pumbafu. Kicho danda.
How can you suddenly become this level?